Latvia has been on my bucket list for quite some time now. I've always wanted to visit the Baltic region, but I never got the chance as my family always preferred, sunny tropical destinations. So as a child I mostly traveled south and barely visited the north. But a while ago, when I was searching for cheap flights, I came across a 15 euro Ryanair flight from Vienna to Riga, and also back. But I didn't want the flights to be boring, so I searched another airline which serves that route as well, which is of course airBaltic. As a matter of fact, they offered a relatively cheap flight considering the usual fares, from Riga to Vienna for just roughly 45 euros in economy class. So to make it a bit more diverse, me and Jakub chose to fly Ryanair there and airBaltic back. But don't worry guys, I will also cover the Ryanair flight very soon. After spending 2 wonderful days in Riga, mostly plane spotting, but also checking out the city itself. By the way, huge thanks to Semyons, a local spotter from Riga, who helped us guide through Riga and the spotting locations there. I'll leave his Instagram in the description of this video. It is time to head to the airport terminal for our airBaltic flight. To comment on the terminal itself, it had a very cheerful atmosphere. I really loved the seasonal Christmas decorations that were placed all over the entrance hall. Of course, we couldn't help but do a bit more of plane spotting shortly before passing the security check. Speaking of which, it went very smoothly. The waiting time was only about 2 minutes. Then we briefly went past all of the duty-free shops and sat beside the B gates. And again, we couldn't help but emerge into the astonishing snowy wonderland the airport had become right now during the snowy season. What is worth mentioning is that there is multiple locations in the airport where you can refill your water bottles. Also, you definitely don't need to worry looking for a restroom, as there is a big lot of those everywhere for some reason. Speaking of the restrooms, when boarding finally commenced, Jakub got a bit sick and he really needed to use one. But as we were already boarded inside the airport bus waiting to be transferred to our aircraft, he felt like throwing up. I obviously didn't film that because that would be wrong. So when inside the bus, I quickly grabbed a conveniently placed trash can with a plastic sag in it. Thank God. Yeah, I pretty much saved someone's time by not needing to clean up the bus afterwards. Oh, and poor Jakub, he felt sick during the entire duration of that flight. To this day I'm still thinking how I managed to take care of my sick friend and film this trip report at the same time. To say the least, it was kinda hard, but we both did great and we survived after all. So we finally arrived next to our aircraft. I'm gonna put the info about this plane on screen right now so you can read it. The boarding took a very long time, so meanwhile I just enjoyed the glamorous view of the beautiful A220 with snowfall, which just continued and continued to fall. We finally boarded the plane. Seated comfortably in our seats 15A and 15C.
Yes. You want the... Oh, this one, I see it. This one? Yeah. Yes, there we go. So as you're sitting in the emergency exit row, in case of emergency, we may need you to operate this door. So there are short instructions here, and this is the safety card. Just take a look so you know. This is
Dealing med passagier. Live med Airbus A220.
After pushback, we went straight for de-icing, which took approximately 10 minutes. And after de-icing, we slowly lined up on runway 18 and took off. absolutely zero view from the window. Just look like I'm not even gonna play the whole thing here, cause y'all would just get bored and leave. Therefore, I'll skip to the good part. The meal service. I pre-ordered a meal, which goes by the name Asian-style chicken with sweet and sour sauce and rice noodles. The crew gave me my pre-ordered meal shortly after reaching the cruising altitude. It came with this long cardboard package. Inside was, of course, the mentioned meal, alongside a chocolate brownie cake, an orange juice, and a bread with butter. The food deserves a solid OK rating. Like, it was fine, but it wasn't anything special, to be honest. Some parts of the noodles were hard, crispy or uncooked, especially alongside the edges of the plate. I suppose that's the oven's fault, not the crew's. But the chicken was fine, but it just couldn't compete with the Thai green curry chicken on Ryanair, a meal which I'm really addicted to, by the way. The brownie cake was great, I really enjoyed that one. The orange juice was just a regular juice, and the bread and butter, not gonna lie, I didn't eat those, I just had a small bite of the bread, and yeah, it was okay, I would say. For the price I paid, which was 12.99 €, it was okay. Like, look, it wasn't anything special, okay? After the meal, I decided to check out the in-flight magazine and what it had to offer. I also desperately tried connecting to the Wi-Fi. They specifically mentioned it after takeoff. Feel free to connect to our in-flight Wi-Fi. But it just didn't work, as it was most likely turned off for this flight. Although I have to mention things I really liked on this flight. The small screens allocated to every row was nice and cute. They briefly showed advertisements, the flight info, such as speed, distance to destination, time until arrival, or our exact pinpoint location on the map. I haven't seen that in a long while, probably due to always flying Ryanair. The cabin of this A220 was overall very clean. I was impressed with the cleanness of the toilet too. Speaking of which... the toilet is pretty spacious, I gotta say. I mean, compared to Ryanair. Obviously, but you got this thing. The door is like, it opens like this. I'll show you. You got a coat hanger. Let's check the duration of the water. Okay, about 3 seconds, not bad.
5 scale jest home scale. Escali alert. Numero 1.
Again, compared to the Ryanair, really not bad. Check out the toilet itself. Alright, I mean... you've got a huge bonus point just for the spaciousity of the... The kindness of the crew can't go unnoticed too. They were incredibly friendly, and especially the pilots. After we landed, we had a wonderful and cheerful chat with them inside the cockpit. After some time, we safely landed in Vienna, but before that, I'll let you enjoy the approach footage a little bit. Feel free to skip to the landing part of this video. Seek the chapters included in this video. Tento akože celkom solidne je. When not taking the hardest landing of my life into account, The flight went pretty smoothly. It was my first time flying on the Airbus A220, so I didn't know what to really expect. But regardless of the negative circumstances, like my friend being sick for instance, I still found myself enjoying the A220. I'll put the overall rating and comments regarding this flight on the screen right now. Feel free to pause if you want and read it.
Welcome to Disable Button until the fasten civil sign have been switched off. Remember to take all of your personal belongings and please take care of the opening door of the lockers. On behalf of airBaltic, thank you for choosing to fly with us.
And with that being said, I want to thank airBaltic for this wonderful flight. I will definitely be back on board in the future, just with a different meal that I had on this flight and hopefully without a sick friend. Big shout out to the amazing crew again. You guys were awesome.
In the night when you're coming down, it can be very, very difficult to see how the asphalt layout is. So it's just very, very non-standard. So,
Yeah,
but the aircraft can take quite a lot. So this was not our most beautiful landing ever, but there's absolutely nothing wrong.
I gotta say, I really enjoyed the A220. This was my first flight on the A220. He flew it a couple of times before.
Yeah.
I really just loved the sound of the engines, and it was perfect. Yeah.
It's a quite nice aircraft also to operate, I can tell you.
And thank you guys so much for watching this trip report. Hope you found it relaxing, enjoyable, or even educational. If you did, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on new aviation videos. Also follow our Instagrams, links are in the description of this video, and finally, if you wish to check out this playlist full of other trip reports we've made in the past, click the link above. Thanks for watching again.